exactly what happened. There are 2 cameras and my 2 eyes in this room, and I watched you walk out that door. Thank you, Miles.
And I ran downstairs and I got it set, and I'm only joking, folks. We've got hundreds of people behind the scenes making sure that we get into this game. Here we go, boys and girls, it's time. The first map of the Esports World Cup has begun.
Yeah, and look who's getting off at the hot start. It is OMiT Brooklyn with a 4-man wipe straight away. No, they do not have those spawns, but yes, they absolutely have the time.
Not going to worry too much about the spawns for now. Plenty of time left in our open hardpoint. 30 seconds left here in what we call P1. Point number 1, smack bang in the middle of the map. It's going to move in a few brief moments towards the low right-hand side, but for now, OpTic right back in there and swinging shots.
Yeah, maybe bit off a little bit more than they could chew. Got a 4-man wipe, try to push out those spawns. Kenny picks up a big 2, and well, now you're effectively back to square one. Flank thrown through for Shotzi as well, and yeah, OMiT Brooklyn get a nice chunk of time on P1, but they could not get past the front line of OpTic Gaming. Were able to hold things down, rotate straight over towards P2.
This is the rotation towards the second hard point here in our first set, low right-hand side of the minimap. And OMiT Brooklyn, they are hot on the heels of OpTic now, fighting their way forward. Lead change now as the new hard point rocking. 3 in the feed for OpTic, including a team kill.
Yeah, well, I mean, what? You got 1 team kill for each AR so far on OpTic Gaming, so I know in the background, these guys certainly going to be keeping up with that intel, but no trophies on the point means the Semtex there for fire, and Brad doing his best Shotzi impression, and my God, does his headset work.
Oh, that thing's definitely cranked. Over to Shotzi. Man in the point for now. OpTic Gaming walking away with big time here. Another counter-attack from Brooklyn. OMiT Brooklyn. Can they get into the point? 2-man down. They've got numbers, but no! It's Kenny Williams in the feed. Finds 2.
Yeah, and you saw Kenny in the interview as well talk about how he's looking to have a pop-off tournament from start to finish, and he has quite literally been that sort of backline now from OpTic. They cannot get past it.
He's going to say in the pre-match interview, he's like, look, I'm due a good one. I'm owed at least 1 good tournament, like I've start to finish, and so far, it is wonderful. Kenny, 8-4.
And now maybe the biggest opportunity to slow things down. It's been OMiT trying to run at OpTic this entire time, trying to break those spawns. Their first opportunity to hold on, and again, when you're playing against a guy like Dashy, you are playing a different game. Doesn't matter how good you think that tank heady is, he will absolutely rip you off of it. And OMiT feeling the pressure. Those green wall is swarming.
Here it comes. There's the contest. Fire finds 2. Glow Frosty joins him in the feed. Lovely work. We could be looking at a lead change here. OMiT Brooklyn right back in it here at P3.
Still, though, pressure on. You know, 27 seconds is nothing to shy away from. And OpTic, maybe that first initial push doesn't pay off, but the second one, they're starting to chisel away at that time. But Glow Frosty, big trades and a 4 spree for him as well on rotation. Looking to get that cruise.
Unlucky, though, Shotzi just on the top side of one of the 2 white vans here on this side of the map. 3 in the feed once again for OpTic. That's going to be massive hardpoint time when the new one pops. Will they identify where OMiT Brooklyn are coming from? Kenny right into the front line there, rocking a bit of a Stark-esque MCW skin, folks. 10-7 again for Kenny.
Yeah, he's messing with their timings as well. These players off spawn, and Kenny is waiting for him. So Glow Frosty, the man that is trying to hunt him down, and instead ends up being hunted, but hey, puts himself in the corner, wins the gunfight. And OpTic don't care. They're expecting Glow Frosty to play slow. Dashy hasn't bothered to turn around, but through the front line, his teammates pick him up. Nice job on the break. OMiT, well, doing everything they can to hold on.
Lovely work here. We're watching Shotzi. One of the most dynamic players in the world, without a doubt. Managing to cause a little bit of problem here on the approach to the point. Nice work here from Prolu. Into the time. Open field for a second. Coverage again from Shotzi. That is a sensational set of kills. And he's schmoving. No more, though. Frosty puts him down. Another 4 spree goes to bed.
Yeah, you see Glow Frosty maybe playing with the pace just a little bit. So Iron Boots on one side, and a man like Sparty bunny hopping his way through a double kill. So nice pickups there, and on rotation, a bit of a square up battle. Fire looking for the extra kills, and he sets up Glow Frosty to get it. So OMiT are gonna be here first again. Rotation on point.
Yeah, not a problem whatsoever. We are coming to a swift close of our first set, and it is a solid race so far. Another clean 3 in the feed for OpTic. That seems to be tradition. Lovely shots from Pred. Once again, belly down, gunny up.
Yeah, and this is, to me, just sort of messing with those timings. It is uncomfortable when you spawn up and you got a rival 9 player just gunning you down within half a second of your life coming to fruition. So, not ideal circumstances, and again, a different experience playing against a team like this. Well orchestrated and firing on all cylinders. OpTic Gaming, a small but noticeable 30-point lead. Maybe good news from OMiT. Long term, they got the right side spawn, so trying to work their way back in the game.
Eyes on OMiT here. A very important moment for them. They've got to close the gap. OMiT Brooklyn fighting forward. Shotzi, a issue. Fire finally puts him down. P1 is open for business in 5. Great work, though. In our first set of rotations, they come to the close. We now go back to the middle.
We'll see if you can hold down this P1 for any substantial amount of time. Shotzi able to get you that first entry kill, and Dare's playing a touch slow, but Dashi Dare for the trades. You got Kenny that was dishing out just a little bit of damage, but on the break, the question is, what is Sparta gonna give you? Enough for the kill, but enough for the trades. OMiT had more in the feed, but even still, Pred, the man that finds the time.
No streaks available yet. Dashi found 5. Does not find the coveted 6th. Over to Pred. Lovely coverage. He's still alive. Finally brought down Sparty and Proloot in the feed. Here comes Shotzi and Sparty again. A lovely 2. It keeps the hard point in the hands of Brooklyn.
And you can see Spart, he loves that jump shot as well. Quite a few bunny hops he's thrown off in the feed. And now this is a beautiful situation here from OMiT. You had Proloot getting sort of those initial pushed out kills, and this has been the comfiest time they've been able to get all game. And they have the rotation as well. So OMiT clearly have brought the fight to the table. This is your opportunity to take the lead, and they're gonna maintain those spawns as well. So a little bit of luck to spawn right on top of the new hill.
We're looking at that sort of 30-ish point difference. OpTic have managed to maintain it for now. OMiT with a wonderful chance here to maybe walk away with something. Can Proloot find any more? Trade, not there just yet. There we go. Pred gets involved. Over to Fire. Beautiful shots out of Pred. Another in the feed.
And just so aggressive as well. Again, you've had moments where you're spawning up and Pred is taking the gunfights within a half second of your life, and you're looking for the trades, but they're flying up one shot at you, and Glow Frosty is just staring into a meat grinder. His teammate disappear in front of him, and I gotta be a little bit fearful of the Chow. No trophies either. Glow Frosty, yeah, too much damage being done. OpTic Gaming putting on the pressure even without those spawns.
Doing a good job of maintaining control here. Open hardpoint, 20 seconds to go, and it's still a very, very solid hold out of OpTic Gaming. They have denied OMiT Brooklyn the comeback. Can we find the rotation? Back over to P3, left-hand side of the minimap, and OpTic are spawning there as well.
This is going to be your money hill as well. So OMiT, the 2 best opportunity they've had where they clear-cut win the rotation. OpTic Gaming have just put that pressure on, and now we get to see if OMiT Brooklyn can do the exact same thing. 3 players right now working through the bottom side of the minimap. They're going to be running into Dashi.
Oh, it's going to be a big one. Dashi there in the back line, covered. Kenny up front, loses it to Sparty. That gives you an angle of attack. 1 man alive on the point, and he's holding it down. It's Shotzi. Backline now. Proloot making his way forward. Can we get in there? You want to try to stop the scoreline there as OpTic. They are just walking away with this Rio.
Yeah, they just never got those back spawns, so they ended up trading out Dashi, but OMiT never able to block, and that is going to be the lead effectively spiraling out of control. So those are the 2 big hills, the 2 big moments, and OpTic Gaming taking full advantage of it. Again, they're doing the little things right, on top of the fact that all 4 players positive. They're outslaying you as well.
Oh my, Glow Frosty, great win there up close. Can we find another? Trying to keep OpTic at that point for now. Good work, trades are there. Glow Frosty and Spy in the feed. Pred finding a big one. Pressure now on. Can you trade him out? The answer is no. The Thunder from down under, causing nothing but problems for OMiT.
It's just going to be a massive uphill battle, though. These are not the fun situations. You want the money hills to get this time, and this is not exactly the cleanest setup you're going to have. Only 3 players nearby. Great news for OMiT. They got boxes, so they can make this happen. And Sparty again is able to pick up 2 and dish you up the 3rd as well. Everybody on OpTic spawning out.
Great work. They spawn him out. Bad news. Oh, number 7. Proloot's got to go huge here. Can't get it done. Kenny watches the flank, and forward go OpTic. This could be massive on a Sparty. Gets 1. The 2nd. Holding them down. Shotzi with a trade, and the hard point still in OMiT's hands.
Okay, we got ourselves a game. Making the comeback on the Van Hill, not an easy thing to do, but they're making it work. And again, Proloot on the flank. Can't quite get it done. 2 big opportunities, but at least he's getting the info.
He's trying, man. He's really trying. But at the end of the day, OpTic, great game awareness. That's what you would expect at your world champions. Over to Kenny, top side of the minimap. Last hard point here in the 2nd set. And what do you know? It's a 3-point game.
It's going to be interesting. I tell you, Spart was a machine on that hill as well. I think both goes around. He's been on point. Now a 3 spree around P1 on this rotation. So OpTic are going to be there first, but they're not going to have the numbers. You got Glow Frosty being the cutoff man. So right now, only 2 players on time, and both of them going to fall. OMiT, the break is in.
Well, the break is in. You've still got to contend with Pred. He's trying to get forward, trying to soften these players up. Fire brings him down. Hardpoint in the hands of OMiT Brooklyn. Lead change.
I mean, they're looking for their water. They're looking for that flow, but I don't know how much they're gonna have, except the break is just too clean. Shotzi pushing the pace, and Sparty right now just wants to be the cutoff man.
Sparty, oh, more than the cutoff man. 3 spree, stays alive for a moment. Pred there for it. It's a multi-kill. Fire on the prowl. Gets Pred back. 20 seconds to go here on the final point.
And remember that time all 4 players on OpTic Gaming were positive? Yeah, that was 2 hills ago, and now Dashi, negative. Pred, negative. The slang has been picked up by OMiT, but that is a 3 down in the feed. OpTic looking to punch back.
It's another clean 3. It's an opportunity here. Back over the mid-map. OpTic with a full setup. The green arrows on the mini-map. In position for the new hill. On board with Shotzi. He's got himself a sweet spot. Can his teammates find the kills? Prolute, grow Fossey forward. 1. The second, no! OMiT are in!
They might be a little bit off their game right now. Right now, OpTic being tried and tested. The question is, can they be bested? But the setup right now for OMiT looking clean.
Hold on, folks. It's not over yet. OpTic on the approach. Forward they go. Eyes on Pred. Trying to get an entry. Can't get it done. Fire again. Another big win. And we are looking at 25 for the win.
Oh, yeah. These guys are going to be hungry for it as well. And Spart might be one of the key men. You got Fire inside the hill. Might get gunned down. But if Spart is able to pick up a couple big kills, which he is, Spart's going to give you 2.
Oh, my!
You don't actually block those spawns, but by God, you get this time.
Are we having it, folks? Is this going to be the first upset of the tournament already? Look for the pop-off, but it's not over yet. Prolute with 2.
Oh, yeah.
We're finding time all over the place. He gets himself 3. Another for Prolute. 5 for the win.
Oh, they are gonna get this done. What a way to start our tournament. OMiT with the map 1 upset. That was a 50-point comeback they just made on Rio. And get those dance vibes flowing. The hungry team strikes first.
Well, we get into the game, folks, and what a game it was. Map 1 goes to OMiT Brooklyn, and they've got to be feeling good after that.
And that just makes this series that much more interesting. Again, Clayster mentioned it. You want them first, and that first map is everything. Wait, if you falter, you just give the world champs all the confidence in the world. Now they got to lock in.
Clay also said that he didn't think a Challengers team was necessarily going to get too many maps this tournament. Wow, what a start, folks. OMiT Brooklyn. Where Brooklyn at? That's right, they're up by 1 in the series.
And I gotta say, tip it to Spart as well, right? I mean, 6,300 damage for the squad, minute in the hill in drop 34. So the only champion that is on the side of the OMiT Brooklyn that has won that CDL chip. Well, Sparty on point, and again, quite literally on the Van Hill. Both goes around. Complete monster. We're watching this man bunny hop his way to double kill after double kill, and the way he ended the game, incredibly impressive. So that was a 180 to 130 bounce back where OpTic get outscored. What is that? 120 to 20 points. So we're going to take a look at some highlights, and we know first half, all OpTic. Second half, which starts now, all OMiT.
This is the highlights from map number 1, this Rio hardpoint. Well, folks, if you wanted a tone setter for the Esports World Cup here, MW3, it is already something special. Well, we'll see how the rest of the internet feels about that one, but for me, a very exciting start to this tournament.
And I did appreciate, like the relentless sort of aggression that OMiT was bringing as well, right? We had, how many flanks are we watching Prolute be taking those long routes? And quite a few times we are watching them fail, but his teammates initially there to pick them up. And then when it comes to this hill, everybody in the perfect position. They get the 4-man wipe, and you got 6 on the minimap. Spart immediately going over to just make sure you lock down that rotation. And OpTic Gaming just forced a flood into death, and it is their old teammate. At least for the side of Shotzi and Dashi. Prolute shutting him down.
Happy with that. Map number 1 goes their way. A moment of mild frustration, I would imagine, there for the OpTic boys, but they're no strangers to a tough spot. And that is very, very frustrating. This is the final moments of the map as you watch them get their fist pumps through. That Spart on screen. Come on, he says, with damn good reason. Great start there for OMiT Brooklyn here in Group A.
Oh, that's a great deal of fire coming out from him as well. That is a burst of energy. And again, this is an interesting tournament, man. It's a special one we have here at the Esports World Cup, where the challengers have, I mean, how many times do we get these opportunities in the Pro League era, over the past like 5 years? Maybe 3 good opportunities for the challenger squad to actually go against them. One being the Pro-Am back in Vanguard, but it has been a rarity. Well, here we are. OMiT strikes first, and the question is, how far can they go?
We had a Pro-Am in MW2 as well, the first event of the year, and that didn't go terribly well. I think there was one upset. Only one, really, and it was a couple of maps. It wasn't necessarily actually, it might have been a series. Getting old. Either way, though, starting things off in a very hot way, folks. That glorious stage, that glorious trophy up for grabs here in Riyadh. OMiT now have got a few moments to go over the game plan and remind themselves of how bad they want it as we go into 6-star Search and Destroy. Now, Chance, 6-star. We've talked about it plenty, but Search and Destroy, the first time we will see it here in the competition. Can you explain it for us, mate? Because normally I do it.
Well, I will explain it, but I will also just acknowledge for the more hardcore fans, again, they're not going to be using smokes on this map. So typically what we see, it is a ton of A hits coming out. Teams on defense happy to give up that bomb plant, and you smoke out you go through the midsection over towards Statue, and you just thrive in the chaos, or at least play the 50-50. But now without that dynamic, you actually have to be more creative on the map. The retakes on the A site are not going to be fun without a smoke grenade, so you need more pressure in that direction, which of course now opens up the B site to maybe be more flavorful for the teams on the attacking rounds if the defensive end is not going to be there. But that just means teams are going to have to be on point. On the defensive end, it is going to be retakes on retakes. You have to be calculated in the game plan, and I mean, we see smiles on the faces of OpTic Gaming, but I know if I'm going down 0-1 against players like these, it is not a comfortable position. Again, S&D especially so is where I'm expecting OMiT Brooklyn to thrive.
Oh, and that was the story coming into this one. We weren't expecting the hardpoint to go their way, so now you are feeling good. If you are OMiT Brooklyn, if you are OpTic, it's time to get serious.
I gotta lock in, and also shout out to F3. You saw the tattoo on Prolute's hand, so living legend. Well, Miles, take it away.
Yeah, man. Well, we'll see. F3, clan tag that we saw rock for a very long time. Pharaoh, a champion of the game. Sadly no longer with us, but a lot of love there up on stage for him. And Prolute doing what you can to get well hydrated. I think that's the name of the game here in Riyadh. It's hot outside, folks. It's real hot. I mean, I did get a message from a friend asking me if I was wearing a jacket or if that was my chest hair. You know what it is, brother. And I hope you're having a great time as well. CDL 6-star, Search and Destroy on its way in a moment, folks. Here we go. Map number 2 of our first game of the day. This is going to be spicy.
Common turns of phrases will absolutely get you at the worst possible moments, but a best-of-5 series that we are going to be rocking here, and to see what these teams can provide. Again, a lot of S&D stars on the map, and of course on OpTic Gaming. It's not like they're shy away from S&D as well. They had the drop-off throughout Stage 4, absolutely made up for it at falling off a cliff.
Oh my, into oblivion.
But they made up for it, so they're actually going to bring lethal S&D to the table as well. And again, the A retakes without the smokes, incredibly different. And you already got the stuns of Glow Frosty attempting to slow Shotzi down.
The Ant-Man manages to infiltrate the A bomb site, low-hand side of the minimap. We'll see what happens in a moment. The Shotzi back to full health. Dashy's getting a lot of pressure here. OMiT Brooklyn on the defense, now on the offense as they fly forward. Dashy's going to have to reposition quick. Can he get his gun up on time? He can. Big win.
Oh, that's a huge win. Well, it's 2 players, though, right? Oh, but Fire doesn't get the kill, so now Dashy's actually out of dodge. This is a massive advantage from OpTic. Bomb down. They know a player's on the flank.
Gets to the next power position as well. Dashy, the rear security right now for OpTic Gaming. Fred's going to back him up there as well. Now through the middle of the map, we see a retake without smokes. The trades will have to be on point. Whoever gets the first kill better get the second quick.
Well, and you see Dash in the feed. He wins the most important one. Fire has to win that gunfight and turn the heads on OpTic Gaming. The second you lose it, it is the funnel system. OpTic get the information. Once you spot out those 2 players, then you incredibly easy gunfights to win. So that's going to be a look. No smokes make this retake that much more difficult. If your initial strat at the start of the round is not on point, you will not have success, and it is Dashy that breaks their strat down. The double flank attempted through the B site. The Dashy, big Bruce, putting a stop to it.
And again, if it all comes down to if you're able to bring down Dashy in that situation, he managed to hit the tactical retreat, the old shoot and scoot as he runs his way back over towards the boys. Bomb now in the hands of Prolu. OMiT Brooklyn will take their turn now to attack one of these 2 bomb sites. OpTic 3-man through the middle, now a 4-man as they are going to overwhelm that bar in the center of the map.
And that's an interesting moment. They actually, again, doors closed. We're watching Prolute play with the timings. All the stun grenades land at the doors of A. They connect with nothing. OpTic Gaming completely leave the site open. But in spite of winning the information game, OMiT taking a little bit of time to actually go for the plant. So OpTic have repositioned. But you can see all these players turning. It is taking OpTic so long to figure out where the plant's coming through. But OMiT just taking way too long to go for that bomb plant.
Oh, that's sensational. Lovely lethal usage. The frag connects, and it's a two-man advantage right now for OpTic Gaming. Fire through the middle of the map. Over by the bomb site, it might be a toe-to-toe dance. Glowfrosty knows the moves, comes out on top. Fire now on a flank. The opportunity for a big win. Dashy! No! He stays alive. It's a 2v1.
Shout out to the Rival 9. Now we get an opportunity. What can Fire do to make this happen? Well, unfortunately gets spotted, and the Call of Duty timing not exactly on his side. He's taking a deep route in this moment. 20 seconds left, though, and he's going to throw a nade. So, yeah, OpTic Gaming able to reposition. They know exactly where to look.
Here it is. Shotzi tags her in. 2v1 spot to be in Fire. Nice shot, nice attempt. Not enough. 2-0 OpTic.
It actually created an opportunity to make a move, but the second he throws the Semtex is basically throwing the round away as well. Not going to win one of those gunfights, let alone both of them in that moment. So, OpTic Gaming again on point. And that's a tough one from OMiT. I mean, you just got to play with confidence in S&D. Their opening strat quite literally was done to perfection and just waited too long. OpTic Gaming sniffed out the pressure. They're there for the, I mean, not even a retake. They just simply didn't allow the bomb to go down.
Yep, didn't allow it to go down. Fire's got to get back into that bomb site, grab the bomb, manage to bring down 2 players. It's a tall task. But so far, OpTic Gaming, lovely start for them. Lovely start for Shotzi as well, 3-0. If he gets to 6, he gets a cruise missile.
And Kenny just wins a nice little gunfight, coverage over top, and gonna shut some things down. And Shotzi also wins an incredibly difficult gunfight and shuts down Glowfrosty. Now Kenny trying to prowl. Shotzi actually dies to an aid, so we got ourselves a very quick 2 versus 2, and Dashy gonna ice up instantaneously. No time wasted.
Big Bruce finds 2, makes it 3-0. As the play was cut entirely in half there. OMiT Brooklyn, not a whole lot going on in Proloot. I'm not sure if he's surprised or frustrated, but a bit of work here from OpTic in the search and destroy.
Yeah, and the question was, can they bounce back after map 1? That is an incredibly quick response.
Si, senor.
OpTic fans might be a little bit shook, maybe concerned about their team's S&D. They might have a little bit PTSD from a portion of the year, but right now they are wheeling and dealing. And the stun grenades, again, they got baited by the information last go around. If Shotzi's taking this route, they're going to be stock and standard. They are very ready for the A pressure.
Oh, yeah. Shotzi's going to hold this as long as he possibly can. Will the COD timing, that tacit knowledge he has of the way the play will go, work out for him? Fire, the man watching the flank, and now giving it up. So you've got players all over that bomb site, and Shotzi is just underneath them.
Don't take the bomb too far. Hey, take the bomb too far. Now OMiT forced to go and pick that up.
Will he push though? Shotzi, what timing! Masterful approach from OpTic Gaming here. The last man alive, Glowfrosty. Will Shotzi be the man to grab him? And that is that. A sensational round from OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, and maybe I need to sort of wake up a little bit. Apparently, I don't know ball. I was thinking S&D was going to be OMiT's best opportunity to strike, and they are not looking good in the game mode right now. OpTic Gaming simply able to do whatever they want and not having to work too much for it either. Shotzi just gets a freebie first blood with the bomb down and goes, yep, we win.
That's the way it goes sometimes, mate. OMiT Brooklyn, 4-0 so far here on 6-star, and it's first to 6 in Search and Destroy. So with the in-game time only at, 3 minutes and 30 seconds, we're rocking through this one, mate.
Hey, this is barely enough time to actually earn trophies as well if you're not getting kills. I mean, OpTic Gaming are going to have them. They'll be ready to go and spreading the map as well. And Dashy, in the meantime, able to get a first blood. I'm hearing all the stun grenades get out, and I think Shotzi able to take that route for absolute free, and Dashy is locking the flank down.
Yeah, this is a very strong look. Map point for OpTic Gaming.
So invasion control, Miles, how you feel?
So invasion control, next map, will be going there in about 14 seconds. No, again, that was actually a 23-second round. Unbelievable. Unbelievable lethality there from OpTic. They're rocking. We've got ourselves a major bounce back here in the S&D. I'm not even joking, mate. This is 3 minutes and 53 seconds so far. This is a record.
And I think the first round might have been like a minute and 10. So it's just been OpTic completely. Well, I say OpTic, Dashy and Shotzi running them over.
Yeah, Dashy and Shotzi, 8 and 1 respectively. Hello. Dashy looking for the number 9 and looking for the cruise if he can get this. no need right now as we are flying forward.
Truly is a different experience getting shot by Dashy. You're just not expecting to be absolutely ripped for the small amounts of body you show, but they take the bomb past the site again. They're hoping someone from OpTic over-rotates and just jumps into death. And, well, OpTic, everybody's here. Shotzi's going to fall, but you at least get a couple trades. Dashy not able to get the extra man advantage on it.
It's not over yet. We've jinxed it. Pred, lovely, patient position to be in the middle of the map. Waiting for the go button. There it is. Hit. Fire. What a turn! Fire wins the fight. And now it's all down to Dashy, not only for the round, for the map, and for the cruise.
That's unlucky, too. I think Dashy actually tagged up Pred, made him a little bit weaker, so not ideal.
Oh,
You're just looking for one here.
Just get one. Can he L3, though? That's the attack now towards the bomb site. Quick check. You're going to be able to jump on it in a moment. Oh, Dashy, you know it's happening. That's the bomb plant. 1v3 for Big Bruce.
Well, guess who didn't win the Clutch Player of the Year award from Breaking Point?
5-1, though. OMiT Brooklyn are on the board.
That is one of those moments where I'm like, it is Dashy. He can absolutely do this.
What he does.
He was the most Clutch Player this year.
And the boys are absolutely ripping him for that most likely. He couldn't even get the cruise, Bruce. Come on, man. Well, OMiT, you bought yourself a lifeline. It has to be absolutely perfect. Now, in the COD world, we call it a full sail chance. That is what? A 5-0 comeback for our winning team. If they can win it 6-5, we'll see if it can happen. Might have jinxed it. We'll see.
At this level, I think there's maybe been 4 or 5 full sails of all time.
In many years now of Call of Duty Esports. But so far, an explosive opener to the round, but no deaths yet. So everyone throws their lethals nearly. And Sparty, great eyes. Spots at least one of the players out. OpTic now on the approach towards the B-bomb site.
He's playing aggressive as well, so he might be dealing with quite a few players. And shot and tag to the back. Kenny with the first blood. So Spart wants to get aggressive. Kenny, he'll do the exact same thing. He is happy to run at you, but trade through. Got a 2v2.
2v2. Shotzi now making moves. A little bit of noise, not too much. Now about to pick up the flank. Oh, and if they watch this, it's over. Shotzi trying to get involved. Oh, the shot's on a glow. Frosty manages to make it a 2v1. Fire! Can't win it. That's the map. I'm a savage. OpTic game. Tie it up. 1-1.
Over sneakers. Not needed. Shotzi running. 6-1-ing.
Hard point in the past. Up next, what we got.
Invasion control, yeah,
That's
got
right.
invasion control. The pace is going to be switched up quite massively in OMiT. Maybe a little bit happier for the respawns because that S&D, painful. Pro 1-6, Spark 2-7. Not a single player positive and only a single round one. So not ideal. Dashy quite literally just completely locking the map down on any time they attempted to flank through the B side. Dashy just easy gunning for him on that side, and Shotzi when needed to push pace, well, he thrived in that environment as well. So the bounce back after the shenanigans we had in map 1 made up for, and by the way, 6 first bloods for OpTic Gaming there in that moment. Absolutely thriving on 6-star.
It certainly helps. Where Brooklyn at? Not on 6-star, evidently. No, back to Rio. They'd like to go. But we're not going to go back to Rio. We're going to go to the highlights from that search and destroy, which will be brief, folks. It was a quick one. Very, very quick one. Oh, actually, it's the highlights from the first map. These were also quite litty as well. But very, very interested to see how the invasion control goes. That's coming up from map number 3. Now, again, control, for those who are not as hardcore, a totally different game mode here. It's our map number 3 here in the pro side of the Call of Duty world. We'll get into that in a mo, but that's going to be a big one, Chance. This is to take the lead before we get into our little Karachi closeout.
I think, or OMiT, excuse me, certainly on invasion control, maybe hopeful for these guys to be on the defensive end first because they actually want to start a map with a lead, having to make a 50-point comeback against Optagon Rio. Not an ideal situation. You absolutely are able to pull it off, but then we saw the comeback attempt on 6-star. Well, that's a 6-1, so I don't know who is a Pred, the 6-star that they're going to have. They're enjoying it.
Invasion Control on its way. Control Chance, a fun game mode in the COD world. We've joined us in Black Ops 4. Again, it's what, 2. You've got 2 objective points. You have to capture them. You have 30 lives to do so. You swap sides. First to 3 gets the dub. We're very interested to see how that one goes because, again, as far as these matchups go, respawns looking pretty solid for either side. Very, very low sample of data we've got to work with in that regard, but I'm interested to see how this goes, man. I'm very excited.
I think this map specifically specifically might be the most difficult one for a Challengers team to take down, at least the top squads in the CDL, rather, because OpTic Gaming, one of the best offensive teams we have in the game. They quite literally won champs on the map. I'm thinking they're going to be just fine.
We'll find out, folks. After this quick break, don't go too far. When we get back, it's time to play Invasion Control and find out who takes the lead in this series here at the EWC. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have returned. Highlights here from map number 2. A quick one indeed. 6-1, the final score there on 6-star, which gives OpTic a real bounce back that they certainly needed after going down in the hardpoint. 1-1 as we come back from the break. Miles and Chancer to get you through OMiT Brooklyn taking on OpTic Gaming here in Group A.
And Kenny, maybe belly down, not the ideal play, but a lot of these highlights, it is just going to be dashy, zapping people off the map. And I feel for Spartan in those moments when you get the call out. Dashy is full HP directly behind you. Good luck, have fun. There's some guy, or gunfights, excuse me, you are simply never going to win.
Oh, you'd know, brother. No, this was another great round from Shotzi. This is to give OpTic their 4th. They got himself 3 in that one alone. And this was a big win.
Good Lord.
Takes care of Glowfrosty there, and that might have been the decider. The comeback was absolutely slaughtered, and all hope eradicated. Over though to Invasion Control we go, Chance. I mean, I didn't want to go back to Invasion Control personally, but I'm just doing my job as far as I'm concerned. Going back into Invasion Control, if I had the choice, I wouldn't.
Hey, everybody has their opinions they're entitled to, and there may or may not be a different opinion on this desk.
Really? You like yourself?
Definitely not. I will say, though, it is a very interesting test that we have, because Invasion Control offense is quite literally the most difficult thing we have in this game. It is one of the most difficult sort of circumstances we've had in professional Call of Duty. The win rate, at least at the start of the year, it was even worse than Al Bagra. I think by the end of it, more of neck and neck. But it is quite literally If it's that difficult to pull off an offensive win, only the best teams are able to do it consistently. OpTic Gaming, the best team we have had this year, and even on this map, able to thrive. They won it on an offense, so that is the opportunity to test OMiT and the Challengers team's ability to pull off the same thing. So if it's difficult in Call of Duty, that means the teamwork has to be on point. That means you cannot afford to throw away lives in these key moments. So you got to strike when the iron's hot, create those opportunities, and execute. OpTic Gaming, we know what they're capable of. OMiT, an opportunity to reposition, talk things over, take a sip of water, and figure out the game.
I would say that the iron is somewhat tepid right now, possibly for both teams, as far as control is concerned. So let's see who gets things red hot and rip-roaring. Mystic there, the coach for OMiT Brooklyn, getting the boys ready as they now dive back out over there towards the stage. JP there
so
representing.
Handsome.
So handsome. JP's he's a babe, isn't he? We love a bit of JP here. He's done a very, very good job helping this OpTic roster get fighting fit and ready to rock and roll. Gets them a championship ring. Can he help them get further here at the Esports World Cup?
And one of my favorite things about JP, I've known him for a long time. He's like the old, we talk about come-ups and how Pred has one of the better come-ups. JP's the same kind of deal. He was like a stats guy that I think Puckett like flew out and he worked one of his first 10 years ago for free. Was this stats guy for, you know, CWL for quite some time, works on different teams, eventually on OpTic. Now he's quite literally world champ. Since he has started working with OpTic and Dashi specifically, JP went to Cornell, incredibly well educated. His lexicon has completely changed. The things he says, because he's just been around Dashi so much, he talks like a completely different person. Make no mistake, still incredibly intelligent, but I talk to JP all the time. It is so funny to hear the Dashi effect.
Dashi effect.
And the worst part is he doesn't even shoot straighter, so he's only picking up on the language from Dashi, not the gun skill.
Well, we'll see if it matters. I mean, you have to learn the language. You have to be able to effectively communicate with your players, Chance. So the only way to do that is to learn the lingo. I mean, Dashi is one of the, if you haven't watched Dashi's sort of personal streams or seen the content, you know he is a literal legend and an incredibly funny individual. Not just brilliant at Call of Duty.
One of the funniest pros I think we have as well.
By far.
Consistently, too. Yeah,
by far. I watched him play GTA roleplay, which was one of the most eye-opening experiences of my entire life, where he got a lap dance from his teammate who was being played by Celium. You know what I'm talking about, chat.
No comment.
You know what I'm talking about, chat. Now we're talking about invasion control. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, into map number 3. This is going to be an eye-opener. Again, we're trying to sort of set the tone and set the stage for what has been already a very interesting tournament. And this one, folks, get your notepads ready. We're about to rock.
I just want to go back maybe, not even that far, maybe 30 or 40 years in the past and say that sentence to anybody. Their brain would explode.
Yeah, you're like, that's not how the future goes. Actually, it is, folks. Yeah. It really is. OpTic Gaming taking on OMiT Brooklyn. Here we go, invasion control.
And you have Call of Duty with, I mean, I don't know how many hundreds of millions of players actually play this game. And Dashi, quite literally one of the best. And yeah, what a crazy sentence.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice opener, though. We are on the B zone, so when a player steps foot into a zone to start capturing it, it freezes the clock. That's exactly what we're seeing now. But Kenny and Shotzi, 3 in the feed. That's a very large moment for OpTic Gaming. Can they fight forward and take care of Glow Frosty on A? No, the answer there lies. Pressure now on. Here comes Dashi.
Massive.
Damn.
Oh my God, did he heal up?
Whoa.
That seemed way too fast. I could have sworn he started healing, but Dashi just absolutely incinerates him. So, nutty gunfight, and not able to get that tick of progress on A. So, big opportunity squandered. You are back to square one. OpTic Gaming yet to decap over towards A, but that means they are looking for the wipe over on this B zone, which also does not have a single tick on him.
Not yet. Here is the first segment completed. Nice. That progress will be saved here in the round. Less than a minute to play, and the wipe is nearly completed. Lovely defensive work here from OpTic Gaming.
All right, we need to stack this objective, gentlemen. We just had a big opportunity, and now you are worried about the flank. You got a Pred behind you. You are losing every gunfight. And now you got Sparty just spinning in different directions, doesn't know where to look. His teammate actually picks up Dark, so you're covered there, but Pred is still in your spawn. You're winning all the gunfights on the front line, though, so by the time Pred gets active, you're able to stack up this zone, and OMiT, they'll be good to go.
That's good work from OMiT. You managed to get rid of Pred. The backline's safe now. You capture the B zone, 1 minute added to the game clock, and only a 1 life difference here. Is OMiT Brooklyn with a slight lead? Hello, that's bad timing, but great for Pred. Walks away with a big one. Shotzi and Co finding kills across the map, so you're trying to slow down the advance here of OMiT.
Yeah, well, they were able to handle a very tense moment early on, and, well, now can they handle the second one? Because, well, we saw Pred's opportunity to work the spawn. Now we're going to have Shotzi's. We get to see him crawling around the base, and this is personally my nightmare. Hey, Shotzi's behind you in Palace. Good luck.
Oh, no. Dashing big nades all across the place. Look at this setup right now, though. OpTic have got them spawning on the inside of Ice Cream Hole, but okay, towards the back left as well. A absolute iron grip across Invasion right now. OMiT are in a tough spot. 3 players do manage to get on out, and Shotzi on a 5 spree, looking for his 6th. We will see if that happens in a moment, as Proluke's still stuck in spawn.
I mean, none of these players on our mid can afford to die, because if you die, you're just getting funneled into the Shotzi and Dashy show. Still going in inside of Palace, but you've made it to the A zone, so Sparty is going to be here. And again, you cannot afford to die, or you're going to get put in the blender. A massively important gunfight to win, and Kenny wins it.
And he wins it. Can Glowfrosty clean up? No, he can't. Teamwork prevails. OpTic, another big win. Life lead firmly in their hands, and Shotzi on a 7 spree. He has secured the cruise missile. Can he find 8? Yes. He stays alive too.
Oh my God.
One more bullet and Spike, you would have been going in the highlight reel. No lives left for OMiT Brooklyn. Can they find a way out? Kenny, once again, in complete encirclement. No survivors. 2 remain now for OMiT, and that will be the round.
I mean, so, you know, I'm just going to make a chess reference real quick. When you play chess, or at least at a high level, your GMs and whatnot, they know all of the opening theory, and just like in Call of Duty, you know all the timings, you know all the gunfights, you're expecting certain things. Shotzi's a player that creates novelties, things you have not seen before. The angles he gets to take inside a Palace, he creates literal magic in these moments, and it just makes you so uncomfortable. So credit where credit's due. You did have OMiT on the offensive end, at least get that B zone capture. It is a neutral round, they're happy for it. But again, incredibly uncomfortable situations dealing with Shotzi, who again, in those environments thrives. On a 7 spree, has a cruise missile.
He is dazzled once again. 12-4 overall.
I have bad news, everyone.
That's very true. I think we might be, yeah, we possibly will be having to restart this one. Sadly, it does. We lost a member of OpTic Gaming. They have managed to, unfortunately, fall out of the lobby. They weren't holding on tight enough, folks, but regardless, the scoreline will remain 1-0 as OpTic do get that first round in a solid way. Again, I didn't hate the opening looks there from OMiT Chance. You get themselves into the A zone as well. The B zone struggles were difficult, but Glowfrosty, if not for a ridiculous gunfight win from Dashy, you could be looking at a segment that can lead to more pressure, that can lead to difficulties, you know, getting back over towards the B zone. That's where you want to keep a great team like OpTic on the back foot, keep them guessing, keep them uncomfortable.
You really are correct. You know, 2 different moments where OMiT was actually getting very close to at least getting that extra segment. And if Glowfrosty just wins that single gunfight against Dashy, or maybe not even wins it, just doesn't get zapped by Dashy in that moment, who knows how the round can go. But good news for OMiT. Say goodbye to that cruise missile from Shotzi.
Oh, that's great news.
Yeah.
Absolute great news. The 7 spree.
Doesn't matter. Well, I mean, you know, they got the round win, so it matters.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
But that's about it.
Well, I mean, at this point in time, cruise missiles, this late into the MW3 season, everyone's pretty good with cruise missiles.
I was going to say, incredibly important.
Yeah, super important. You know the various locations. And again, we always talk about, like, you know, a Pro League champs. That's where the secrets come out. We've seen some special spots towards the backside of the A zone where you can kill them through the wall. Abizi pulled that one out. You know full well that you can, with enough of a, you know, a Pete Mitchell Maverick moment, you can drive a cruise through the streets of Invasion to get on the inside of the A zone. It's not easy, but it can be happened.
Yeah,
can be happened. English. Don't speak it.
That's the perfect thing, too. As you pointed out, that is my favorite thing. The question I always ask around Champs time is, like, what do you guys know that you're not telling anybody else? And cruise missiles specifically at Champs, I was dished out some of the goods, and specifically on Invasion, and specifically on the A zone as well. I know the attached video baited us out over towards Broken. We saw a lot of attempts, not a lot of hits.
We didn't.
So maybe people have fine-tuned that or figured it out a little bit more in the meantime. But again, that A zone specifically, teams now, I think, are going to be much more acquainted at getting it done. However, we're not going to see Shotzi's attempt because, again, doesn't get it.
Well, you might be able to get another one.
Yeah, you never know.
And the same thing for the OMiT Brooklyn lads. Almost ready, folks, to roll back into the map. OpTic will have a 1-round advantage as they well earned it on that defensive round. And now for OMiT Brooklyn, we'll see what they are made of. We'll test the resolve here in control because hardpoint, brilliant work there to start things off. S&D. Damn, Control, let's find out.
And I've got the question you should ask me. If I had to compare Shotzi to a chess player, who would I say? Paul Morphy.
Oh, I was going to ask you, but that's great. There you go.
Morphy.
That's one for the chess heads. Now back to COD. OG up by 1. And on board with Shotzi again. Can he continue to do what he did? And
Paul Morphy, right there. I'm telling you. I'm absolutely telling you. There's 3 people that are like, yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
I'll be on Google in a minute. What a fantastic stun just to slow Shotzi down. Prolute, can you do anything with it? The answer is absolutely not. That is going to be the B zone now under attack. Kenny at the helm.
And this is a prime example of why OpTic are one of the best, if not the best team on the game on offense on this map as well. Shotzi already in prime position. This is comfortable as well, right? You got number 2 on the mini-map that just gets to lock down Dark. The man on the hill, Kenny, just gets to be nice and comfortable. You know exactly what direction you need to look. So everybody in position to do their jobs, but where Pred falters, Kenny knows exactly what he needs to pick up. You got to be worried about Dark.
You see the phase line they set up there, so you continue the capture at B. Second segment done. But the aggression now towards
headshot.
A. Brilliant work there from Sparty. Takes care of Shotzi. That would have been an issue that you would have had to deal with in a big, big way as he makes his way over towards A. Look at 8 shots from Dashi. Wow, what a win.
Yeah, he's built different. Through the little bit of smoke as well, so maybe a little bit of that name tag cheese, but unfortunate for Spart, just gets added to a potential highlight reel.
He's trying to do it again. Shotzi's there for it. Sparty, oh, he tags him back and he walks away with another. So Sparty, lovely work on the defense there. B will be finished momentarily. Kenny, the man to get it done. 0-2, but he's the only black playing the objective.
You know he's challenged too. Kenny, he is maybe one of the most, one of the more ego child players we have in the league without question. He is always challenged.
Kenny's been one of my favorite players since I joined the pro scene. And it was in World War II where he won my heart completely on that TK roster. I mean, one of the most incredible plays. That Gibraltar hardpoint against, Echo Fox? Absolutely unbelievable.
Without question. I mean, in terms of, like, pure Call of Duty, like, knowledge, Kenny, absolutely one of the best in the world. So, always a treat to spot. But right now, OMiT, a treat to watch them on the defensive end. A stranglehold again. Spark gives you the big 2 earlier on. Lets you make sure you get set up on this street. But now Shotzi starting to break it down, and it's only Pred that can stop him.
It's only Pred that can stop him. Spotty unable to make his way forward as well, but you are doing everything you can, OMiT. You have won some major fights, and you're looking to take back as much real estate here in Invasion as possible. Glow Frosty, 3 spree, keeps it going. Prolute there in the middle as well, and it is a massive life difference right now with OMiT Brooklyn in the lead.
As a massacre as well. I mean, you've just had phenomenal aggression on the defensive end, so Prolute and Glow Frosty taking turns to take those trades. And OpTic Gaming also nearly tied up. Shotzi, the only player that hasn't team killed with a frag grenade.
That's true. If he can do it this round, it'd be very impressive indeed. Prolute again. A stalwart of defense, Pred. Can he find an opening here? Fire taken care of. 10 seconds to go. A long way to make it their way towards A. Final 5, and Pred gets to pad the stats a little bit more. But OMiT Brooklyn, you will take it happily. The bad news, Pred's gone on a 3. The good news, you're all tied up 1-1.
And now I'm just doing the math. I forgot for control on the reset. This is going to be sort of an interesting dynamic because I know the what is it called? The ticks just get reset after. So an interesting thing for the players to have to deal with and keep in the back of their minds. But either way, we just got to keep things flowing. Round count tied up 1-1 for the moment. And OMiT now their turn on the attack. And I know one of the sort of primary operations, do not let Shotzi get behind you.
It's not easier said than done. Kenny, 0-7. That's not a problem, though. He'll find at least 1. You know he's good for it. But right now in the running for the next James Bond, not a common occurrence when it comes to control. S&D, though, yeah.
Also, just want to throw this out there. Shotzi currently on a record-setting pace. He has had 10 kills in both of the rounds that he has played. So right now, absolutely electric stuff.
There's not a lot of kills to be found. Well, there we go. Pred and Prolute, they trade each other out there. That's going to be a 5 spree for Pred done. So no crews once again. OMiT Brooklyn in on towards B. Here comes shots. Castro trying to find another one there. Lovely shots out of Spy. Pressure now on. Trying to keep these boys far and wide away from the B zone.
Oh, this is great aggression as well. Spart just absolutely running at him. Shotzi getting tagged and tatted up by stuns, but the repositioning may be too good. I was calling him Paul Morphy, maybe just Houdini. The disappearing act complete, and Spart wanted to get aggressive, but you can't hunt down the best. That's the champ's MVP, but at least his boys are there for the trade, but now Prolute on the time. not able to spot out Pred, and everybody getting welcomed back to their spawn.
Great transition to the second player. Allows now Kenny to fight forward, gets himself in there. Couple of kills now going the way of the OpTic boys. Can they fight out of this deficit they found themselves in? OMiT work towards the B zone once again. They're lined up in the street, lying in wait though in all the deep dark corners of the map. It's OpTic here in B.
Yeah, and Pred working one frame at a time to try to get there. Shotzi in the exact same boat, so they're doing what they can and getting the trades over on the B street, but I think a stack might be rolling through. Pred able to win the first one, but when his teammate falls, I'm expecting OMiT maybe a quick trade, maybe not.
And now it's Dashi on the tank. Now it's Dashi in the spawn.
Oh, baby.
He might not commit to the getting inside of the walls, but he's going to do what he can to fight his way forward. Trades down. Onto the zone. Second segment completed. Can they find any more? No, that's you off the point. Final 10 seconds here. And frame by frame, we are going to see this round close out.
Yeah, one of those moments. I don't know if this is us and the viewer or the players or what's going on, but either way, effective dominance there on the defensive end from OpTic Gaming. Only 2 ticks on that B zone allowed. It is a fantastic round. They're coming in cruise control, and maybe the only bad news with the round that gets played that fast is Shotzi no longer on record-setting pace.
I think everyone might have been facing an issue there, so not sure what we can do, ladies and gents. We're going to find out, but right now, OpTic with the lead, 2-1 here on control. Another round is all they need to take the lead here in our first match of the day.
Yeah, going to take a hop, quite a few skips, and a jump into this next round as well. And yeah, conversations taking place on the main stage. A lot of talk in and around this tournament, and a lot of talk about these lobbies as well. Important moment for these teams. Keep their resolve, keep a cool head, keep those vibes flowing. Pred, always a smile on his face.
We from there, keep the boys as calm as they can, keep everyone locked in. We are going to restart that lobby. There was definitely some form of network issue there, so we're going to end this one, pump the brakes, restart it. Again, OpTic do find themselves in a 2-1 situation here as Invasion Control. I wasn't enthralled at getting back into it, Chance. We've managed to have 2 restarts on it as well, mate.
What a map.
What a map. What a moment for either one of these teams. Again, for OMiT Brooklyn, not bad looks whatsoever. They're going to start this next one off on defense. That was how they managed to get their first round win. They find another, and we find ourselves in a tricky situation where we have to now maybe restart the lobby again to decide who gets defense. But I don't know.
And this is a small thing, but it does go a long way. I saw an interesting video on the subreddit today of a moment from Ultra where Insight was having issues with his comms at Champs, and he's having to like replug in his mic. Weird things can happen, but Toronto, a team, I think is the sort of highlight example. Is the second the map ends, all 4 players are like, doesn't matter, we're done with it, lock in and like get ready to go. Ended up winning the series. So it's a small thing dealing with weird issues that are occasionally commonplace in the electronic sports world, but teams' abilities to handle the chaos is, again, a small thing, but absolutely can be a difference maker.
That was an outstanding soundbite, mate. I thought that was really cool. Nailed that one. Nailed it, folks. We're loading back into our map soon. Referees on stage just making sure that everything is sorted. Spick and span. Sparty there as a moment just to think over how they're going to start that defensive round, how they're going to start this one off. They want to try to force at least a final. Going down the series here, not ideal. After this map, we go to Karachi to play hardpoint and search and destroy for game 5 if we need it. And I think for OMiT Brooklyn, your first hardpoint was good enough. How is your Karachi game? Everyone's getting warmed up. Everyone's getting into the swing of things here at the EWC. But again, to force a game 5 in the first, we'll see how the hard point goes, but right now OpTic have got to be feeling very, very good. Their chances here on Invasion Control are still high.
Absolutely. And again, the sort of situation overall, the grand scope in the group stages of the EWC for Call of Duty. Win 2 and you are into the playoff bracket. Puckett was already teasing us just a little bit earlier. Teams are going to get eliminated already today, so we are wasting absolutely no time.
No. Not only that, I'm thinking I'm getting a bit of an update here from the B stream, and it does look like that the Ravens are 2-0 in their series going into their final map as well. So Vegas Legion taking a bit of a hammering so far on the other side of the matches today. Plenty more to play for here still at the EWC. We've got lots of Call of Duty to get through today.
And a lot of things that are going to be important throughout this tournament. Obviously, the big thing, that prize pool, right? That #1 spot, a massive $1.8 million overall, $600K for first place. But also, it is still careers. This is the final opportunity for all of the pro league teams to sit there and look at players, test things out. So Vegas and Carolina, both squads making that single roster change, trying out a new system out with new players. And I mean, I know for me, just hearing that Carolina is 2-0 up with Beans, already exciting things to think about. And again, long-term implications, careers, potential, anything, an opportunity to show yourself off in the main stage. Gonna pan off in Pred. I thought he was looking at me.
No, he wasn't looking at you, mate. What he was looking at is that round once again, folks. The ruling here from the referees is going to be a 1-1 going back into this. We're going to play that round out one more time in the interest of fairness, as the network issue there with the game basically ran away with it. So once again, the scoreline coming into this round, 1-1 either side.
And, you know, I've heard the comms breakdowns from the OpTic boys, especially so after winning champs. And I know in these moments, they're not saying anything weird at all. They are incredibly focused on the gameplay. They are all strategy. No funny business.
We'll find out how things go in a moment. Lobby on its way, but so far, Chance, again, we've had a good look. I mean, before that round sort of fell to pieces, OMiT, not bad whatsoever when it comes to the attack. They've got looks, they've got angles, they've got a lot of fire in their bellies. I wonder, again, because we're going to play this one right again, it's still 1-1. Who's walking away with it on the replay?
Probably OpTic. I mean, again, you've had the opportunities created, I would say, from OMiT, but that's
Yes.
where, like, the big moments really come into effect, and those are what separates the good players from the great. And I mean, so far we've seen Dashy just dishing out death in those moments as well, and we've seen Shotzi absolutely thrive in those environments. So potential absolutely there for this OMiT Brooklyn squad, but obviously this is quite literally the tallest mountain to climb.
Oh, incredible.
Tallest green wall to climb. The joke was right there.
That's okay. You had the opportunity. You could not close out the round, and that's absolutely fine. We're still between time zones, and that is an exciting factor here to the global nature of this competition. Out here in Riyadh, it has been a wonderful time so far, and it's far from over. The tournament has only just begun.
Buckle in, folks.
Jance is nodding his head vigorously as the players now fill the lobby. And I did enjoy the opening sort of the ceremony, the players walking out on the stage and Shotzi putting in the OpTic Gaming, that lovely little sort of statue there just to mark the beginning of their competition here at the EWC. And again, for so many of these teams, an incredible opportunity just to play against each other here on this big stage, to really go toe-to-toe with some of the finest to ever do it.
And, you know, the trophy sort of system that the EWC has, where we're melting down the teams that you get to beat to add into it, absolutely phenomenal. The stage, absolutely gorgeous. The camera quality. I mean, I've never seen a lobby code getting thrown up before, so that's how good these cameras are. Some of this production value completely out of control. So many gorgeous things to pay attention to.
Speaking of gorgeous, folks, we are getting back into the game now. OpTic Gaming, OMiT Brooklyn 1-1 after the restart here on Control. Back to invasion, folks. No cruise missiles either side. None of that nonsense. No trophies either. This is going to be spicy.
And now, because it's back to the 1-1 reset, Shotzi's actually record-setting performance might be back on the table. He had 10 kills in each of the rounds that are being counted. So right now, he is sitting on a 20 bomb, and we have potentially 3 more rounds to play. If he gets 50, we'll give him another trophy.
Here we go. Good luck, Easy Mac. And good luck to both our teams. As the opening stuns land, we're going to see OMiT Brooklyn trying to hit the attack here. Once again over towards the B side. They do win a couple of fights, though. Glowfrosty again. Back on towards the A attack as well. So, oh dear, we're spinning plates right now. And what do you know? OMiT Brooklyn, big wins. Nice work out of Pred, though. Shuts down the play towards B.
Oh, Glowfrosty, well, he's never going to be able to actually make that progress over towards A, but he is going to draw that attention from OpTic. You see Shotzi's positioning on the mini-map, taking that long rotation. OpTic Gaming being very careful, but you want to stack this zone and get it quick if you're OMiT.
Yeah, you're not necessarily worried about finding the capture, but you are looking towards it here. Over by B, nice work. Prolu up close and personal from the hip. Trophies down at the ready. Still, oh, you've managed to get everyone off the zone and nobody's there. So OMiT allergic to the B zone. Prolu, though, force free for him. Could be looking at a cruise.
And it's just Shotzi's presence on the flank. All those arrows that were over towards that B zone, constantly having to look that direction. So typically if you're on the zone, you're just looking dark. If you're looking towards your full flank, look what's wide open. Shotzi waltzes on through and guns him down, and Prelude on a force spree in the meantime. Looking for the kills, not the A zone. Kill off the cruise.
One more. Can he get it? His teammates haven't found a single thing. Oh, and he wasn't going to get the zone either. Not going to get the spree, and it might be done, folks. We're in the red. 20 seconds on the round. We'll find out who takes the lead.
Yeah, just got to hold in iron, but right now you are feeling the heat. I mean, 14 seconds, and you got to turn around and chase the kills. Yes, and fire so close yet so far. Only 9 seconds left on the game clock.
They managed to at least get in the zone. Kenny, a problem. Dealt with for now. Can they get the capture? Second segment, long gone. Two-man cap. Kenny! Kenny! Can't get the pair! Oh my! The capture's still going. Dashy, forward he may fly. Shotsy into the feed. No, you're still good. 4.3. The B zone still stands.
Overwhelming presence and force, enough to get it done. I was shocked that no one turned there from Kenny, but at least to get that B zone.
For the very least. 14 lives either side. Now both teams going at it. You've got one more zone to play for. 50 seconds, OMiT, to do the unthinkable. Oh, the pistol duel there. Shotsy takes down Fire. Sparty through the middle of the map. Once again, it's Shotsy with the trades. 2 now in a row for him, and 35 on the game clock.
Everything's just covered too. Yeah, I mean, just constant big gunfight win on big gunfight win. Shotsy with the pistol. Kenny there for some trades, and OpTic Gaming right now. I mean, this map is just completely under control. So again, standard round, OMiT not too unhappy for it, but long way to go.
They have not been able to get themselves into the A zone since the first round, about 3 hours ago, when Glowfrosty managed to get a toe in off the opening break. It hasn't been successful since then. 8 seconds, the round should be done. And we will see OpTic take the lead unless Sparty can somehow teleport in towards the A zone. The kill's good. It's not going to be enough time, though. OpTic, another defensive round goes their way. 2-1.
Yeah, just not quite even sprinting for it. They're just knowing that if they hold down that left stick, someone is going to kill them off the cross. So, again, nice and under control. The flanks right now from OpTic have been constant on the defensive end. So, you have OMiT much more happy for sort of just the flood system, get all 4 players near the zone. And if you got to turtle up and watch every angle, they will be happy for it. But that is only for step 1. Now step 2, got to clutch up on the defensive end. I'm waiting for the sparks. I'm waiting for the moment for the offensive round pop off. And this might be it. OpTic, 3 players, potentially 4 if Shotsy turns right, headed towards this A zone.
Oh, that's a win. Over to Fire. The battle, though, for the A zone is not over yet. OMiT Brooklyn providing resistance. Here comes Shotsy in a very lovely spot to cause some problems here. Timing the turn, what a win! He's still going.
Oh, this is your MVP, and this is the moment where he gets to thrive again. Impossible to track, and he just creates different angles you can never expect. Call him Paul Morphy, call him Houdini. It doesn't make a difference. You can't find him.
You can't find him. He's about to get his 5th in a row. Does get it. Can he get number 6? He can. It's 2 crews now on the round, and that is huge. In the A zone, you find OMiT Brooklyn for a moment. Can we keep the pressure up?
As I said, by the way, we just watched Shotsy do all of that. OpTic haven't touched the zone yet. Finally off spawn, Shotsy has to go capture.
I'll just do it all, shall I? A couple of kills there. 3 now in the feed. Shotsy the last man up for OpTic Gaming over towards the B zone. Gets a toe in and out. Trophy's there in position, waiting for the reinforcements. He can't do it all by himself. And that's going to be another one there. Oh, final 30 seconds. We're going to a final round here, folks, unless OpTic can capture these zones.
Well, this would be huge. Again, I don't know if we're actually keeping track of the ticks or not, but this is currently a massive round for the side of OMiT, because they are winning this in dominant fashion. Only a single player on the point, and unfortunate for Glowfrosty, Shotsy just has him in his sights. And, well, now that B zone is going to fall, because you have to be worried about this A pressure. So it could have been a dominant round on defense. Instead, OpTic pulling off a little bit of magic.
Shotsy playing this one doorway at a time. That's awkward. And he will be brought down. This threshold proves to be too much. Prolute takes care of business. Kenny with damage all over the place. Mr. Williams, can he find another? Whoa, no. Prolute gets a little too close. Gets in on that weapons envelope range. 15 lives now remaining on the defense for OMiT Brooklyn. 1 minute and 15 on the clock.
I don't know why this just popped in my head. Maybe because I watched Dashy Beam, but Dashy and Shotsy should, in fact, trade names.
That is...
I stole that from someone. That was I can't remember who, unfortunately, the name, but someone on the subreddit made that point. Fantastic point.
Absolutely surreal moment there from my counterpart.
Look at him. He's dashing around. It's the
he's
thing.
Dashing around, and there you go. We're going to go over to Dashy now, who's shot-seeing.
Never mind. Keep your names. It's all good. My bad. My bad.
13 lives either side, though. The defense has worked out. OMiT Brooklyn, far from over. Kenny on the big flank. Kenny, another two-piece. Massive opportunity now for OpTic on the attack.
Yeah, just trying to sort of open up that B Street floodgate, right? So you can start funneling through. He's created the space, but now these are the moments where Kenny cannot afford to die. He's playing for the spawners. He sent 2 to the grave, and it's the 2 players off spawn he gets to deal with. There's your first.
And once again, lovely entry. Good work, glowfrosty from the hip. A lot of damage dealt, but 15 seconds. And we are going to a final round here on Invasion.
Again, I don't know if we're keeping track of ticks or if we're just going to flip-flop and it's going to be OpTic on the defensive end for the next round. But it does make perfect sense because I've been keeping track of the ticks, and OpTic are certainly up and no one able to touch that A zone. So I would assume, again, you might as well just keep things stock and standard. And I mean, Shotzi, the cruise missile that he earned before the first reset in round number 1, he will currently have in hand. So all's well that ends well. Ball, don't lie.
Well, we'll find out who is bringing game here in our final round on Invasion Control. It has been a mixy one in every sense of the word. And what an opportunity here for OMiT to take the lead. OpTic as well. Before we get into that double dose of Karachi, we will find out who gets the advantage. Final round here in Control.
At wheeling and dealing, no reason to waste time and do the math again. OpTic on the offensive end. I think 2 extra ticks that they were able to go up to secure defense. So amid a squad that has created a few opportunities on the attack, looking to create another one. It is again just Shotzi by himself over towards Broken, and well, he gets dealt with. Perfect flank rolling through. Now glowfrosty, the nuisance down A Street. Well, it does get taken care of, but again, you're just looking for that B zone guarantee. Dashy is, though, built different. And I got to be careful because here comes that cruise.
Gonna connect in a moment, maybe. No,
never mind. Did you hear that?
I heard that as well, mate. I don't know what's going on here, but that's the B zone. Well and truly done. 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go. And OMiT Brooklyn only lose 2 of their lives. Better make it 3. On the approach, Kenny and Dashy swap in and out on the inside. Dashy now on a 3.
And while he's going to be prowling around looking to secure Broken, well, Spart's going to fall, so they've cleared out everybody in their spawn. Shotzi, well, he's looking around just in case, but everybody you see on the minimap is being contained by Pred. 4 players over by Palace and Kenny. That front man getting damage in everybody. 1 minute and 45 to work out of the blender. And you know he's challenged.
Oh, he's challenged. Fire, though. Accepts the challenge and somehow manages to find the trades. Massive shots out of Dashy. Cruise missile now in his back pocket. Pred fighting his way forward. Endless teamwork, endless gun flow there from the OpTic boys. And it's Dashy again in the feed. Dashy again, finding them there. Can Dashy do it again as he is hotter than hell right now?
I mean, he just bounced around. Yeah, that's the ace free falls. He's just jumping up and challenging while not healed at all and currently stunned. He does not care, but him and Pred gonna fall. So again, we had 1 minute and 55 seconds it was, I think, for them to actually work this A zone. 1 minute has gone by and they've made it halfway to touching it.
And that is just testament to the superb defensive work. However, a massive attack now from OMiT through the backlines. Dashy's cruise comes through. That's gonna call out all 4 players. Pred finds 1.
Okay. Yep, that'll do the trick.
Dashy finds himself. You're still alive and kicking here. You've got to worry, though, about Dashy on spawn. And this could get very unusual.
And the game just gave him a revenge spawn as well. He spawns up in the middle while his team spawns out towards blue, and there's his revenge. It was glowfrosty he was looking for. It is glowfrosty that he is going to find in OMiT. Well, they have now just found their spawn, fired the only player on the map that can make the play, but Dashy, I mean, he's got him in his sights.
He's so close, yet so far. Can he win the straight-up gunfight? Oh, the far range, the concussion doesn't pay off. Fire wins it. Fire with the trophy, and now Fire with the chance to win the map.
And for OpTic Gaming, absolutely nobody is home. Shotzi killing someone else with the cruise fire, forced to make the big play.
Has to stay down, has to keep himself safe in this situation. The long-range fights there from Dashy working out. Oh, the challenge. Are we in? Fire brings it! Oh, what a win! But indeed, Shotzi there for the save. 10 seconds to get across map, and Kenny may have saved it. Big wins from glowfrosty. Another, but not enough. Control comes to a close, and OpTic take the lead. The map that won them a championship ring gives them the lead here in this series.
in what is unironically the longest invasion control potential we have had all year, where we're going to end up seeing the data view here in a second, and only through 3 rounds played, honestly, the numbers were pretty absurd. There was a lot of damage being dealt out on both sides, so I mean, honestly, not a terrible look there from OMiT, able to create some opportunities and at least test the waters. Unfortunately, they found 4 sharks with rings on their fins. Wow, able to get it done.
Unbelievable. Well, the stats may not matter, but it's all that matters is the scoreline. It's 2-1 OpTic Gaming, OMiT. The drawing board there on Invasion Control, not bad whatsoever. It was all to play for. They had some great moments, but it's just difficult to contest with some of the finest to ever do it. Shotzzy indeed. What a spree it was for them. Now that we go to Karachi chances, the highlights now will roll. We'll see who brought their A game on a brand new map here played at EWC.
That's going to be a fun one indeed, but I know we've seen quite a few of Shotzzy's highlight plays already. That is your Champs MVP, and for good reason. Man is an absolute monster and oftentimes turns Karachi into his playground, so got to be on the lookout for a lot of different things, but certainly OpTic, if the guns weren't warm enough in map number 1, certainly hot now.
Indeed. That's going to be a very, very tall ask. Can OMiT Brooklyn win another hardpoint against OpTic to force the final map? A difficult order for them. As OpTic, it feels like they're starting to walk away with it. We talk about energy, talk about momentum. A tournament like this, absolutely essential for both of these squads. Because OMiT, they will be playing again today if they do lose this hardpoint. Well, if we go to a game 5, we'll find out, folks, how that all goes down. But what a win from Fire there to try to buy his boys a lifeline. Not enough time across map. And these were the final few moments. Glow Frosty, kudos for the shots. Nice work, but not enough presence there on the map. Tension and pressure now on for the boys of OMiT Brooklyn.
And I'm going to give a little bit of gas to OMiT. I'm going to keep it lukewarm, specifically because the S&D, they just got absolutely bullied. But at least what we've seen in the respawns, all 4 players have had their moments and making good plays. We've seen a lot of, sort of multi-kills coming from the ARs of both Glow Frosty and Spark, especially on the map number 1. But we've also seen some pretty good plays coming out of ProLoot, some good coordination, times for the teamwork to be showing off. So I think OMiT has shown me enough, again, at least in the respawns, that I think they're going to be a lethal threat against the other 2 squads. And if they can push OpTic even further here on the Karachi, then we can really start to sing their praises. But 6-star was bad enough that, again, lukewarm praise, looked pretty good, still need more to show.
Well, that lukewarm praise may pay off in the long run. We'll see if that temperature increases throughout the day here in our Group A.
In Saudi Arabia, it definitely does. 120.
Fahrenheit.
It's 90 degrees at nighttime. That's insane.
It is beautiful, though. Wow. Karachi hardpoint on its way now. Search and destroy for game 5 as well. So we go back to first to 250 inside that magical zone. And I can assure you that Mystic is giving more sound advice than I did to describe hardpoint then.
Absolutely. I don't know what advice you give. We've mentioned it before. It could very well be a well-orchestrated effort to talk about everything OpTic actually does. You have an endless amount of VOD about how OpTic plays against the best teams in the world. I think you're never going to be caught off guard by the opening breaks OpTic brings to the table. And on a map like Karachi especially, it can be very stock and standard. Again, the opening breaks, you're looking for the power positions. Guys going top third, someone's in top red. A couple players, the SMGs going straight towards that time. So no one's going to be caught off guard on the side of OMiT, at least when the game starts. But again, it's certainly about that containment system. You cannot afford to let any of these players get out of control.
Containment, I mean, it's so difficult to secure, contain, and pound these players, especially on Karachi. As you said, it's been described as a jungle gym. It's got such a strong sort of vertical element to it. There's so many ways to attack, so many ways to navigate through. So good luck to some of these players when it comes to handling these very, very specific players on the other side of the stage.
And, one of those sort of jungle gym elements of Karachi as well is players that sort of go up, up the ladder, go to top AC and hit those dolphin dives out towards like P1 or the B zone in control. Shotzzy, one of the purveyors of that hybrid mechanic movement where he was the first one to truly integrate those dolphin dives. And it is hilarious. I will not name the players that have spoken about it, but AR players' experience of shooting these players, it's impossible. So there have been teams in the Pro League that don't go for those dolphin dives, and they've absolutely let their AR teammates down. But Shotzzy just one of those guys that creates a little bit of magic and a trend setter in the Pro League.
Oh my goodness, aren't they going to enjoy Black Ops 6?
Whew. I'm so scared. I am so scared.
I think this might be the career killer for many a player, but we'll find out October 25th when that drops. But until then, we have ourselves a Karachi hardpoint. The players loading into the lobby, the final firing range bots being put down onto their backs as we're nearly ready to go. And again, this is a tall task. This is the moment for OMiT Brooklyn to prove their worth here at the World Cup. You're going up against the world champions on a map that you've seen them play hundreds and hundreds of times. Can you bring your A game and force the game 5?
And I'll make the joke for you. You brought up EasyMac with the incredible amount of work he has done over the years and this year, especially with sort of manually cranking through all of the stats. And you mentioned him in a lobby with Dashy in it, and Dashy team kills himself with Cruz. So there's the splash of revenge.
Sensational work, folks. Here we go. Karachi hardpoint.
This is a gorgeous stage. I'm digging the vibes. Same thing with the, like, this is insane to look at.
And now we're in it.
I don't understand how that's done.
Chance's mind is blown, and soon the hardpoint will be blown wide open. Shot seen Pred on the outside here. You've got yourself at least Dashy up top, and that is it. They love it when a plan comes together directly into the point, and an immediate attack onto the next wave of Brooklyn players. OMiT on the back foot already.
Well, it's one thing to know exactly what OpTic are going to do. It's another thing to stop it. And, well, Shotzi, his playground for a reason. Just look at him dance.
Oh, my. 4-0 so far with complete awareness of where OMiT Brooklyn's attack will come from. Here we go. Another no. Sparty wins the gunny, holds his iron. And still bad news, though. 30 seconds up for OpTic Gaming. P1 is going very well indeed.
I mean, do you know how annoying that is for an AR player where you have to go top third and you just have to sit and wait and hope that they give you the kill? Like, it's just such a painful moment, and they're going to have 6 seconds time. Yeah, down by 20 going into new where OpTic completely had this rotation under control. And OpTic don't have any pressure, actually, for those left side spawns. You actually have Shotzi crawling around that area now, but they more or less want to leave those open and really dagger OMiT if any of those players start to fall, but looks like Pred's the first one that ends up dying. So off respawn OpTic will have the 4 spawns.
We have the tough spawns now. Pressure directly on towards the point. Guessing game begins. Oh, and behind door number 1, it's Proloot with a Renetti.
And the modding problem right now, OpTic are going to have to solve. Through the doors you're going to go, and over the dumpster, always going to be guaranteed death. OMiT able to make things happen. So an incredibly poor opening start, but they have absolutely rebounded. And just as in map number 1, it was Spark, the player that was popping off, and now it's Glowfrosty's turn to maybe pick him up and then some. Gotta give you 2, can't get it done. OpTic chalk up the P2 time and get the rotation.
Lovely work there. Trades complete. On the Proloot now, trying to make his way towards hardpoint. Catches out Shotzi. Can he finish him off, though? That's the thing. You're just so hard to deal with him as a player. Lead now firmly in the hands of OpTic. Hardpoint all theirs as well. Cruz connects to nothing there from Sparty. Again, an opening attack that has been fantastic for them. Can they keep the pace up against OpTic?
We saw this at Champ. There's a few teams that invested the cruise missile on this hill. And if you get players nearby so you can get players like Fire Round back, it's great. The cruise missile didn't help him get here, but he got there anyway. All the trades rolling through, and Proloot gives you a little bit extra. 2-piece in the feed, you get a break on a difficult hill, and then you just get zapped. But either way, OMiT, they've done the hard work, starting to collect this time.
And they've got the defense ready for the attack. Glowfrosty the first. Sparty brought down. Shotzi somehow finds the break nearly alone. Lovely work there with the Semtex. And fire through the back line as Dashy's Renetti just too much.
Yeah, the nades and gunfights being won so hard by OpTic. We end up with a Dutch angle right there for the death cam. So we're bringing out film terminology as we're going to rotate this camera over towards that new time. Kenny getting that bridge on lock.
Glowfrosty in the feed helps out. The new hardpoint, not a lot of cover. That trophy will help as Kenny slowly gets it out of his hands, but he manages to just stay alive. Will the comms for OMiT pay off? The answer is yes. Sparty guns up at the ready. Dashy now in the 2v1. Brought down again, so OMiT, fantastic work here on the hold. You've got 35 seconds remaining in this point.
And fantastic teamwork so far on this hill and on this map as well. And Glowfrosty started off 1 in 5, so he's absolutely picked things up. Proloot there for the trades, and again gives you 2. Proloot ripping heads, and why not give him 3? And that is a 4-man wipe. OMiT, they got the rotation, they got the scrap time, and they might have an advantage in this game.
Huge advantage. 2 separate force sprees. Oh, wow, 5 done. Can Proloot secure a couple more? Can't get it. Kenny, what a win. OpTic bounce back maintain control. We're going to a top right-hand side of the minimap, a new hardpoint, and OMiT. They are in position.
Yeah, main money hill, though, on this map. It is OMiT with the time, but it is OpTic Gaming with the listening. See if they can break it down.
Back right was third set. Top three pro loot. Top three pro loot.
Crit. What's our crit? Answer crit. Nice job. That's two.
Just deny between.
I am out.
That's fine. Take your time, bro. Take your time.
We should go front.
That's fine. I'm good.
I can't see in between. He's in between dead.
I'm top far. Top bit far.
I'm holding top 3.
Top bit done.
Nice job. To be square.
Watch out.
Close. Nice.
Nice, go in.
Top 3. Absolute top 3. Absolute top 3.
You should probably get out top.
I'll play, bro.
One
shot. Top 3, one shot.
We have this guy. Watch your front. Stay down front.
We need to play for this guy, Loki.
Yeah, play for guy. I want my front. Let's take it. I'm trying to I'm one shot, bro.
Low cash.
I'm down the shit. I'm supposed to. Come here. A little ticket. Top far. Low.
Last guy top 3. Last guy top 3.
I'm gonna spawn kill the rest.
I hear you. You do your thing.
He's challenging you guys top 3 aggressively, Barn.
Okay, I'll play for this guy.
We need to play for him, Ken. Yeah.
I'll play for him, yeah. He's break. Dead. World Championship caliber communication there from OpTic Gaming. Allows them to maintain a bit of a lead here, but nothing too crazy, Chance. And as we saw in the Rio, the comebacks are certainly there for OMiT Brooklyn.
I like the comms as well, right? You hear shots, you go, I'm going to spawn kill again. He's like, yeah, man, do your thing. I love that. That's my favorite call out to hear from you. Fortunately for him, Fire actually hit some really nice shots with the Renetti at the top of the ladder, but unfortunately for him, Shotzi off respawn, able to pick up 2 again. So Shotzi has been the menace on this P1 hill. Question is, can that actually translate into too much time? He's going to be the one to collect it, and he has a trophy. 30 seconds is nothing to shy away from. You certainly don't want to give this up, and Glow Frosty isn't going to. Shotzi now going to have to do it mostly himself. It's only him and Dashi to work together. And Dashi from the heavens above, my God, gives him everything.
He does it all. Shotzi, we've stayed on his POV this whole time. Immediate spawn trap. Oh, the timing just unfortunate. But he's there, though, in position to get it. Sparty knows he's there, so Spartan's awareness on point. The lead, though, still firmly in OpTic's hands. Brooklyn get the new point. Can they contend with Shotzi still on this run?
Well, I really like the route Sparchus took. Yeah, he knows he can't go up the ladder, so he gets aggressive down low and more or less jukes out Shotzi. And he guns him down. So Spart out here making plays. P2 has been the spot where OMiT has thrived.
And they're thriving right now. Prolu brought down by Dashi. What a ridiculous gunfight win that was. Over towards the point we now roll. Last man in, Glow Frosty. Can he contend? He finds one. Can he find the second? No, Shotzi there with a save. 25 to go, and OpTic are in.
That's brutal too, because Sparta actually just gave you so much extra. Even Pro Loot right now, 19 kills is frying. But now you are pinned back, and now this is easy cutoff kills. Pred gets the stun, gets the timing, and now the power position. And Fire caught sprinting. The trade there for Spart, so an open avenue of attack. You've at least made it through Coop.
We made it through. Shotzi, pressure. Hard points open for business. OpTic are in. Shotzi's behind you. In the middle of the map, he can't quite take care of all of them. There's still plenty of men now able to put their bodies towards the point for OMiT Brooklyn. Can Kenny hold them back?
Doing what he can so far. And he got Pred in the back line. There's another good win from Spart. Extra damage, and he is ferociously attacking the back of the map, looking for the trade. Pred able to get out of dodge, but in the meantime, look who's got the hill time. OMiT, the break is clean. But they are still working on another hardpoint comeback. It was a 30-point deficit, or excuse me, a 50-point deficit that they fought out of Rio. Exact same situation here on Karachi.
Oh, a shot's not enough. He gets quite literally tilted. Glow Frosty still in the back line, still finding the kills, and still in the hard point there for OMiT Brooklyn.
And this is going into the hill where, I mean, P2, I was saying they had the most success, but it was actually the open street where they were able to put in quite a bit of work. Kenny, though, wants to reposition, make the adjustment. He's got the trophy, and he's got the barrels secured. So maybe this is OpTic hitting the reset button on Rio. They were unable to sort of slow things down. Well, they've done so on Karachi, but Kenny currently feeling the heat. His teammates have fallen around him. Ooh, he's there to pick you up, at least one.
At least one helps. Pred now pushing forward, trying to hold them back. Does just that. Can he get a second? Glow Frosty. Whoa, it's Fire from up high. Cooks him.
Hello.
Sparty can't win that fight against Shotzi as the battle between those two on this side of the map continues. 20-point game.
Yeah, Spart, unfortunately, with his fame moment where the guy crawling right in front of you, just unable to see. So, small window of opportunity. And keep in mind right now for OMiT, yes, it's a 20-point game, but they currently have those left side spawns. This is a horrific moment where it is Shotzi that gets to spawn kill, and you do not have the rotation. You need to kill this man.
They do it. Oh, his timing's been just unfortunate here. The COD gods They may be smiling, but not necessarily on him. Kenny, though, in the feed, finds 3 as Mr. Williams gets it done. A 4 spree for Shotzzy, a 3 spree for Kenny, and a new hard point in the hands of OpTic.
And all that fighting OMiT did to make this a 15-point game, and they have to do the thing where you gotta get past Shotzzy. He full sends it, so you at least take care of him, but look who's there to pick him up. There's Kenny for 1, and there's Kenny to be the thorn in your side.
Kenny is such a difficult player to deal with. Oh, no, and gets the 5th. Kenny, the 6th as well. What a run. No more, but no problem. Cruz secured.
Yeah, and you know, Kenny's challenge, hyper aggressive, always prepared for the next gunfight, and he will catch you off guard.
Yes, you did. Nades are there. Pred, push back. Dashy, he might be on the pincher in a moment. Can he find one? Can't. Proloot and Sparty fight forward. Trades are done. Last man, Shotzzy, and he is kicking.
Yeah, and he's just gonna...
Yo! Unbelievable. 32 and 19 for Shotzzy.
That is unbelievable stuff. Yeah, Shotzzy has had himself a map in a series and an absolute year. 32 kills, and he is not gonna stop.
He's not slowing down indeed. This could be it. The next hard point, back to P1. And there's not a lot going on. Pred is holding them down. OMiT are in the time. But OpTic Gaming in full control of the map.
That just cracks me up. We go from Shotzzy doing the belly dolphin dive off of ledges to get hit fire kills, and then there's Pred chilling top there, laying down.
Final moments of our opening maps. 10 seconds for the win. Can anyone get close to this one? It's on fire to save the day. Can't get it done. 5 seconds now for the win. Pressure there. Proloot finds at least one, and you might have a second or two, but no. There's Kenny in for the win. 3-1 the final score. There may have been an upset in map 1, but it was simply a blip on the radar.
Just got to get those competitive juices flowing. OpTic Gaming, the giant we have in the Pro League, awoken after the Rio. Absolutely dominant on the 6-star, and they simply never looked back. And Shotzzy, quite simply, just doing what Shotzzy does best. 32 kills, 5K damage, and highlight reel play after highlight reel play. The only thing he did poorly is he called out he was going to spawn kills, and Ken says, go ahead. He only gives you one. Other than that, beautiful.
Ferociously disappointing. To him, at least. Otherwise, all good. Great stuff there from OpTic Gaming. They don't let anything get too much out of hand. And after the first map, I mean, it was fine. It was difficult to get through the invasion control for them, but that was more a technical issue than anything else. The 6-1 on 6-star was absolutely brilliant, and I think a strong, strong indicator of the level of play that OpTic are already bringing at EWC.
And I'll pose the question to you. Do you think we saw enough out of OMiT? Again, OpTic Gaming, world champs 3 weeks ago.